Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy, the Big Canucker, and I am back here. And I gotta say, thank you guys so much for all your kind of well wishes, your emails, your texts, and just people dropping in to see how I'm doing. I appreciate it so much. You guys do not believe how much I appreciated you guys, and it made me want to come back, more than ever. Gotta say, things are going really, really well on my end. I did a video there the other day. It's kind of a welcome back video, but in it there was a knife that somebody texted me and said, "Hey man, that knife is schmishmeagle." So I didn't want to kind of put it in and keep it out there. So I kind of deleted that one, and then I went to reshoot the thing again without that schmishmeagle knife, and the video gods were just not with me. I had some corrupted files there, and it was just, I couldn't believe it. How I was not able to shoot that. I mean, I tried shooting it 3 times after that. I deleted that one, and it ended up I was so PO'd after by the time I was finished. I wanted to huck a whole bunch of cameras into the ocean. But speaking of the ocean, that was actually an open tag from Patty Potato Peelers across the ocean, as well as Singing Toad. All right, so I wanted to have a look at an absolutely gorgeous little knife here. But before I do that, let's go to the tabletop. I've got a big old bunch of crow to eat from a fella by the name of Mike Lynch. All right, let's go to the tabletop. I like that. All right. Now, the reason I say I got a little bit of crow to eat here is I bought this Lynch clip there. I know, I'm going to say probably about a year and a bit ago, and I was rocking an O-pry in my back pocket as my main go-to pry bar, and I bought this. And my immediate thought was, man, this thing is light, and it seemed like kind of a little flimsy, and then I carried it for a little bit, and I didn't do much with it. And then I put that O-pry back in my pocket, and I thought, oh my goodness, this thing is a big hunk of titanium. Where that Big Lynch clip was so light, and I didn't even notice it in my pocket, and I decided, what the hell. I put the Lynch back in my pocket, and as you can see, I have beat the hell out of this thing. I have pried in some pretty crazy things, and I thought, man, I'm going to snap this thing in half, and it hasn't. So, Mr. Lynch, if you watched the first video, chances are you didn't. But if you watched the first video and you thought that I was kind of not super high on your clip, I wasn't until I've used this thing for about a year now, and it is damn good. I gotta eat some crow, and that's gonna stay in my pocket from now on. One other quick thing I wanted to go over is everybody. I've got a few questions about what I use for tying my life lanyards, and it happens to be this here. It's called Duracare leather laces. They fits up number 12 eyelets. They're 72 inches long, or 6 feet, and I actually get them from Mark's Work Warehouse. It's $7.99. I'm sure I can get a big roll of it, but I really like the way this stuff has got kind of a shiny side there, and it folds and it wraps so nicely that I got that shiny side out, and I just really like it. Now, I've got a knife here that I'm going to kind of use a comparison. So you can see here, this is a black lace. That's the same thing. It just doesn't seem to wrap as nicely. And do I have one with brown laces? Handy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, as you can see here, I've got this little tiny McBee, and you can see how much it wraps with the shiny out. I think it looks better. It just seems to kind of fold better than the black one. And I really like that. So that's the one I'm going to use, is the brown. So I get these $7.99 Canadian, Markworks Warehouse, and they're Duracare laces. So that's where those come from. All right, today's knife is something that I got. Let's just see here. I ended up picking this up a couple weeks ago from a fellow by the name of Tamac. And I gotta say thank you so much. We did a little bit of a trade, and I traded another Reate knife for this. I traded a Reate K2 for this gorgeous little Reate Epoch. And I gotta say that the Reate K2 was a great little knife. It had all the premium materials in it. It looked really nice. I just didn't dig it, and it's kind of a total humanity on me. Is so funny how our likes and tastes are. This knife here is not so crazy radically different than that K2, but it's different enough that I absolutely love this one, and I was very ho-hum about the K2. So this just happens to be, I think Reate has got really, really nice little cases. They come with a microfiber cloth, a little microfiber pouch. But what I really like is, the fact that they've got these extra hardware. You've got some hardened washers in there, and you've got some body screws, and it looks like you've got a body screw, and it looks like you got a clip screw. And I gotta say, damn it, if I want to do some screwing with my Reate, I can screw with my Reate because I got extra screws, and thank you so much, Reate, for those extra screws. All right, let's go over this bugger here. Overall length, 8.28 inches long. It is on the big side. Here, we've got something here. We've got a Spyderco Danger Pickle that you can see that it is a little bit heads and shoulders are bigger than that. And we've also got a Spyderco Spy Opera. These are both kind of on the smaller side knives. So it does make this one possibly look a little bit bigger than it is. But I don't have anything close to me that's normal, like say a Paramilitary 2. I gotta say the Paramilitary 2 is very close to this Reate Epoch. Now I guess some people call it Epoch, or what's the other thing I've heard? Epic. Yeah, I don't think it's Epic. I think it's Epoch. And that's just my my spiel, and I'm sticking to it. All right. It is a flipper with some really, really great stuff in it. Let's just see here. 8.25 inches long. Now the blade length is 3.5. They say in some circles, other circles say it's got 3.7. It is a little bit on the bigger side for sure. It is. If it's 3.5 to 3.7, you've got yourself the perfect EDC size there, bar none. Now it's got Carpenter's CTS 204P steel in it, so you're going to get yourself a totally premium steel. Long lasting. They Rockwell hardened this one to 60 to 62, so it's right in the perfect zone for the CTS 204P. Now the other thing here, it's not greatly hugely billboard. It's got the little Reate in it. It's got like a little shield thing here, but then it's got the CTS 204P. It also has, if you can see that, it's got 90 out of 400. So there's only 400 of these made. It is kind of a limited run. Now, it's not 400 epochs in total. I do believe it is 400 epochs with this finish on the handle, as well as this finish on the blade. Because you can also get the blade in a DLC, as well as kind of I do believe a satin finish too. You can get the handle in a DLC coated or like a dark titanium along with the Mokutai. So it does come in, I do believe, 4 different versions. So that's about 1,600 knives, which is still not a crazy amount of knives that are out there. So I still think, that carries a little bit of weight to it as far as I'm concerned. 1,600 knives in the entire world of, 7.5 billion of us. I mean, only 1,600 of us are going to get to carry an Epoch. But if you have the chance to get one, I got to say, brother, get yourself an Epoch. You will not be disappointed. Now, the overall kind of the elephant in the room here is you've got this Mokutai kind of thing in there, and you can see here it's not completely flat. It's rounded here. It's rounded over, but there's no real kind of it's fit in there perfectly. I don't have any reason why this is going to come out. Reate's fit and finish is amazing. And you'd think that, oh, well, it's an issue. It's not. I mean, when you close your hands in it, you can, I never really notice that it's there. And when I do notice that it's there, it's so smooth. It doesn't form any sort of hot spot whatsoever. It just adds a splash, a little uniqueness to this knife here. Now, they call this a draw point. It's almost kind of close to being a spear point, but it's just a really, really gorgeous knife. Now, it is 16,000 wide, which is 4 millimeters. Now, and you can't tell that because they've gone and done a lot of kind of shaving off the top here. The thickest part here, I guess, where you have to measure it, she's 4 millimeters, but it is kind of almost looks like it's a tall saber grind with a very, very small flat spot, and then it gets ground down to about 1.5 millimeters. So I have cut some cardboard with this. Despite being a 16 thou blade, it does glide through cardboard really, really well. And I cut up a big monster cardboard box with this, and this thing was smoking through it like nothing. All right. Now they say here, the handle length they say is 4.75 inches long. It's big enough for my double XL hands to fit in there really, really nice. Now they say that the handle thickness here is 0.55, just a little over half an inch. And that's the one thing, it is a little bit of a porky knife. Not monstrous. I mean, it's 5.5 ounces long, or 5.5 ounces heavy, and it's a little over a half inch. But everything is really chamfered really, really well. I didn't notice any sort of crazy hot spots. The ergonomic fit on your hands on this knife is, it's an 8 out of 10. Like, I mean, it's really, really done really well. Now, the clip on here is a ball bearing clip, and that's one of the biggest knocks I have on this knife. Is I don't completely understand why they would take this here and then take that screw right behind it. First of all, it looks kind of odd. The second thing is it, with this kind of this big thick titanium spot here in the back, there's a lot of this knife sticking out of your pocket. You could have made this into a deep carry and moved this completely over and put it right there. Bob's your uncle. You've got yourself a deep carry knife, and I think a lot of people would be a whole lot more happy to have that than to have the clip that's on there right now. And it's not that the clip is terrible. I mean, it fits in my jeans really, really well. It's got nice retention on it. It holds really, really well. I'm not worried this is going to come out of my pocket. I just think that was a little bit of a swing and a miss there with these guys right now. Now, it only comes one way. It'll only come tip up right hand carry. So I'm sorry for you tip down guys and your lefties. You're going to have to do a little bit of adjustment. It only comes that way. Now, it's made by Reate Knives in China. So I just got to say, I don't think you have anything to worry about. A Reate knife is an extremely well-built knife with extreme great fit and finish and really, really good design for the most part. Now, there is one thing here that I'm a little bit concerned about. It only time will tell. This knife came to me. I don't know if the previous owner had taken it apart and cleaned it up, but you can see in the inside, this front opening is quite wide, and I do believe that's due to the fact that if you look inside there is a stop pin, some dual stop pin lugs on the inside of the blade, and when it opens up, it catches right on the inside there. And I don't know if that's going to allow some dirt to get inside at those bearings. Is that kind of just an opening that's going to collect some lint and just, you get it inside your pocket? Is it going to collect some gunk inside there, especially inside where those pin pockets are? Now, it'll be a little bit harder to clean than some of the other styles, so only time will tell if that develops a problem or not. But it's just a concern I have. Nothing that's I don't think is too worrisome, and it hasn't been so far. I've carried this knife for a couple weeks now in all sorts of conditions, and I've got no issues with it whatsoever. But who knows? All right. Let's finish this things off here. We've got a 50% lockup here. Of course, you've got to have yourself a steel insert on the lock. There is inside. There's a little lock bar inside there too as well, so you're not going to over travel your lock. It's got the cutout this way rather than the other way, which is not too bad. I mean, some people have complained that collects on that is bothersome as far as pulling the knife inside and out. I haven't noticed it whatsoever. The knife goes in, the knife goes out, no problems whatsoever. Now, going back to one of the fit and finish but one of the fit and finish points that I have is Reate's fit and finish is so nice that when you look at this looks almost like a integral knife, like that is built out of one total piece of titanium. That this happens to be a titanium backspacer, but it's fit so well that when you look at this up close, even you can't tell that there's a crack there. It looks like one solid piece of titanium. Now, the backspacer has got some grip without becoming too obtrusive, and it has a spot for a lanyard. Of course, you got to have that. I love lanyards. The only thing I'm going to try to figure out is how to get my leather kind of in there and wrapped around, so I can put my leather lanyard on there. I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of shaving, cutting it, shaving it down before it'll fit inside there, but I'll make it happen somehow because I love a lanyard. All right, so I hope you guys really enjoyed me coming back here, because I appreciate you guys, and I'm so happy that I'm back making some reviews too again. So If you like what you saw, don't forget to give me the old thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below, as well as share and subscribe. So please, please stay safe out there. Keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.